We have identified the desired object. Which one? Yeah, the swipe locator. Whatever the desired object is there, we have identified the desired object. So upon, okay. So once after we have a desired object with us, now on this application, the scenario that we have is, so how this swipe is going to work. You need to select at the ending of this object at the ending somewhere from here to here. This is what the object size is, right? So this is what the object size is basically. Anywhere from this particular point, okay, anywhere at this particular point, you need to press, and then you need to move towards the left hand side. So we need to press here and we need to move towards the left hand side. And if you clearly observe, if I move up to here, it's not coming. So if I move up to this border, the red color border, whatever we have, I am pressing it and I'm moving here, nothing is happening. If I'm pressing here and I'm moving up to here, nothing is happening. So if I'm pressing and I'm moving up to here also, see here, if you observe the thing, you need to swipe, move up to almost, if you consider this as a 50% of the screen, you need to move up to the 50% of the screen, then only this operation is being performed, guys. Okay, guys, you got my point, right? So you need to perform that operation and you need to move it for that 50th percentage. Okay, then only it's going to perform this operation. Okay, either you can go with a 50 percentage or a 40 percentage or 30 percentage. You can, it's up to you basically. So the ultimate point is on this particular object, you need to deal in this way. Okay, this is the way how exactly you need to deal this object. So you need to get not the dimensions of the screen in the current situation. So for which object you need to get the dimensions, we need to get the dimensions. So I'm deleting the unnecessary commands and I'm just keeping this actions class and all those things. For this swipe locator, okay, for this swipe locator, I'm getting the size. Okay, good enough. So whatever the size is there for this particular object, I'm getting the complete dimensions of that particular object. And here in this situation, guys, if you clearly observe the y coordinate value, vertically we are not changing anything. Wherever the vertical coordinate is there, it's remaining one and the same. Only the horizontal coordinate that it's being changing. So here for the point option in the current situation, what we need to do is, in the current situation, we need to specify in a way that whatever my y coordinate is there, it's not changing. Okay, so my height, or I can say my height is not changing, only width is changing. First of all, get the height and make it as a constant. Okay, make it as a constant. We are not going to change it. Only thing which is changing is width. So you just need to update the width. So how we need to deal with it? So let me go back to the program. So d dot get width. So I want to get the width, and my first width here is, it's starting somewhere around a 70, 80 or a 90 percentage. So for my safety, 0.8. Okay, this is what my starting coordinate is. Int start x is equal to, here this is what I want to start it basically. At this position I want to start it, and on top of this one, d dot get the width. Okay, basically what I'm doing, so, okay, height is a y coordinate and a width is an x coordinate, right? So here let me do one thing. This height I'm not multiplying with anything and I'm considering it as a start of y. Y. So initially I have captured my Y coordinate itself. Height. So in the example, we are not changing vertically, right? We are changing horizontally. So start Y, it should be of a height. Okay. D dot get width, and the width, what I'm dealing with it is I'm multiplying with the 0.8 and I'm storing it in a start x is equal to, this is what the starting x coordinate is there, and I'm specifying it, and this is what the y coordinate is there. So I don't want to change my y coordinate at all. My y coordinate would be one and the same. Int and y is equal to d dot the width itself. Maybe if you can multiply it with 0.3 or a 0.4, that would be fine. Int and x, this is what a horizontal coordinate, right? And x, y would be start y and end y would be one and the same. The width I'm multiplying with a 30 percentage, so add gas. So here in this example we have a start x, we have a end x. Start y and end y both are one and the same. Start y and end y both are one and the same. Now here for this particular touch action, whatever we have done earlier, I'm copying this command and I'm placing this command here. Okay. And the touch action instance, whatever we have created, I'm just placing the touch action here. And instead of 0 comma h1, I should specify my start x, right? I should specify my start x and start y. So the starting x coordinate and as well as the starting y coordinate we need to specify, and wait for some time, and later and y, sorry, and x and y. So ending x coordinates and y coordinates we need to specify. The end y coordinates are one and the same. That's the reason I'm giving a start y itself. So I'm just giving it as a start y itself. And additionally, I'm giving start x and x. So the first set of press we need to pass. For press, we need to pass start x comma start y. For move, we need to specify end x comma end y. In the current situation, the y is not changing, hence we are passing it as a just a start y itself. Okay, just we are specifying the start y itself. So here, okay, so here what we need to do is, okay, as we are done up to here. Okay, so we have specified the coordinates. Let's see here. Wait for this much amount of time. That release data perform, everything is good. So I'm generating the coordinates with respect to my object itself. Let me try to run the script and see whether the script is performing the desired operations or not. Okay, so here, so run as a Java application. I'm just executing it. Let us see how this is going to work. So on this app, it should perform the swipe operation on this object, the first item, and it should deal with it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here, okay, so we need to change this Sauce Lab app. Okay, so the script will fail, that's fine. So I'm just updating my APK file information. Download apps Android and simple swipe APK, simple swipe APK, and I'm updating my APK instance here. Okay, and I have just updated my APK instance here. Now, let me try to run the test script and see how this is going to work. Run as a Java application. This time what I have done means I have updated my application now. Okay, so what is the issue you are getting? So, okay, so now it's executing. What happened? Is it executed or that's okay? Let me kill these instances once. Yeah. Let me run my script once again. I didn't notice what exactly it happened. So let me run my script. It's getting executed. and here the operation got a performed. Okay, this operation got a performed. For suppose this width, I'm giving it as a 60 percentage. Let's see basically. Okay, I'm giving this width as a 60 percentage and see whether it is working or not. I'm just giving it a try. Okay, so I have a given initially as a 30 percentage and now I just changed it to a 60 percentage and I'm giving it a try. So manually also we noticed that if we are not moving up to the 50% of the screen, it's performing and it's moving out. So it means in that situation, so whenever you are doing this thing, you can specify that. So these coordinates, okay, these coordinates are playing a crucial role. Okay, these coordinates are playing a crucial role for us guys. So whenever you are dealing with your application, you need to consider these coordinates. If at all we are not giving an appropriate coordinates, then script will not work. Okay, if at all we are not giving any appropriate coordinates, then this script will not work. That's the thing we should consider here. Okay, and what I am doing right now means copy this script. This application is just to perform this swipe operation itself. Nothing is being happening whenever you are clicking on these objects. Okay, you can't perform any options on these objects. It's just a swipe operation itself. So copy this program what we have created and I'm pasting a new program. So if you observe the two scenarios that we have created, okay, the two programs that we have created, the first one is with respect to the screen dimensions and the second one is with respect to the regular dimensions that we have. Okay, the second one is with respect to the regular dimensions that we have. Okay, so what I'm doing right now means, so see here, I'm just copying. So I have created a new script and I'm naming it as a swipe extended. And whatever the app capabilities are there, I'm just replacing with my SaaS demo. Okay, replacing with my SaaS demo. And I'm just getting the SaaS demo stuff here. Okay, let me comment this whole thing. Let me comment this whole thing and let me place it here. So we are getting the touch actions, everything. So I'm just placing every command here in this situation. And later, after dealing with it, I just wanna swipe down, scroll down. I just wanna scroll down. Okay, I just want to do a scroll down. But here, if you observe this logic, what we have created, this will work. Okay, let me, I have commented all the unnecessary stuff now. So where it is getting failed, 1 second, let us look into that. So let me comment this line as well. So this is, okay, nothing more or less, just the SaaS demo script that we have created. Let me try to run this SaaS demo script that we have created a couple of minutes before. I'm not recreating anything. I just created a new program and in which I'm placing this information and let me try to run this program. Okay, it launched the SaaS demo. This script got executed successfully earlier. The same script will work for now. Okay, that's fine. So I'm commenting this instance, which is the app activity. I don't want this app activity and what exactly the app capability is there. I'm just replacing this app capability here. Okay, guys. So here, what I have done is only the application file I have changed. Okay, only the application file I have changed. Other than that, I haven't changed anything. So when I run my test script as a Java application this time, let us see what exactly it's performing right now. Okay, so instead of a SaaS demo, I have a given this particular scenario and see here, it got executed. So one thumb rule which you need to consider here is this is the vertical scroll logic that we have a given and we have a created in a Sauce Lab application. And as of now, I haven't changed that logic anything as this logic is precisely dealing with the complete screen size. For suppose if the logic whatever we have created is dealing with an object, then you need to think about an object and you need to work on that object. In this situation we are not dealing with an object, so we are dealing with a screen size. That's the reason, though I changed my application APK file, the same script is working for us. Okay, the same script is working for us. 1 2 3, see there are too many scrolls are there here. There are too many scrolls are there. Whatever the logic you want, you can just place that particular logic here. So for int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 4, I plus plus. So I just want to run it for 3 times. Okay. And upon performing each and every operation, just wait for few seconds. Okay. Upon performing each and every swipe, wait for few seconds so that I can see that identity, what exactly that's being performed. Okay. Let me try to run this script. Okay. Let me try to run this script and see how this is going to work. Okay, so one time it performed the operation, second time it performed the operation, and third time it performed the operation. I have given 3 times itself and it performed that operation. 1 2 3 4. Okay, it performed equal to 4 I have given, so it's performing the operation on that particular way as per my requirement. Okay, and if you want, you can compare this particular one with that particular instance what we are validating for. Okay, so this is the instance where you have na, so you assume that you want to compare it for a particular object that is having certain text. So I'm giving an ID locator na. Maybe if in your APM you are able to get the text attribute, let's see whether we were able to get that text attribute or not. So this is what a text attribute is. Scroll down until you find this particular XPath. If that XPath is there, stop it. If it is not there, then terminate it. Okay, so very first time, this is how the app looks like. If it performs a scroll down operation, maybe item 8 of 8 lines of a description, this is what the text will display. So what is the text that it's being populated there? So let me add it here. This is what, so I can write down an XPath / star open braces at the rate text is equal to, you can specify this XPath out over there and you can ask your program to verify whether this XPath is matching, then you can stop. But no matter whatever the logic you have created in this case, as we are dealing with the screen coordinates, always this is a generic logic and it will work accordingly. Got it, Venkatesh? Earlier you asked me to show on a different application, and this is what a different application that we worked on.
Yes.
Okay, so there is
You
no
told right
change.
to store it in a set.
It's up to you. If you want, you can store it in a set also. Get that a text from that location and store it basically. If you want to get the text from that object, okay, here it's not a single object. Na? So it's not a single object basically. Here, if you observe, 1 second, let me do one thing. Let me kill this inspector session. Let me relaunch this APM session once and I will show you this stuff.
For your
Okay.
scenario, to get the total number of products, events,
Ha.
store it in a set.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So here, where is this? This is what the title is. But here they have a common title. See here, guys, though there is a text that it is being changing, but there is a common title property, title text. Copy it. And this is what an ID property is. I'm just specifying the ID. As of now, I can see only the 4 objects. The 4 titles are getting highlighted. Okay, the 4
Yeah.
titles are getting highlighted. You can use an XPath in this way, / star open braces at the rate ID is equal to, you can change it to an XPath even. Okay, so where I have written the star ID equal to, you can use an XPath also, somewhere it's I have given a wrong stuff, but you can use an ID property also. Whichever the locators you want, you can use it. So directly what you can do means here in this, maybe before this scroll down, driver dot find elements by Okay, find elements by ID. This is what the ID I want to capture it. And these elements, it's going to be a list. So list of web element, you know, titles is equal to. Okay, I just want to get the collection of multiple objects, and that collection is a title itself. And for this title, you have a multiple sets of values are there, right? Again, this title, if you want to deal with it, so what I can do means titles dot get off a zero dot get a text. So whatever the first title is there, get the first title and print it. Okay, so I'm just asking it to get the first title and print it. Let us see whether the get the text command here is retrieving the title for that object or not. So basically, if you observe, this is a title. Again, this is a list. And if you want to deal a list, if you want to deal with all the list of values, okay, if you want to deal with all the list of values, then you need to use this. Okay, then you need to use this for loop again to get the list of values. See here, every time whichever the title is there, it's retrieving. Before scroll down, whatever the title is there, it's getting the title. For suppose, if you wanna print each and every title, maybe I can use the list of values for int normal for loop, or I can use any kind of a for loop. I less than titles dot size. I plus plus. I'm comfortable with that. I'm just using this one. So here for int p is equal to 0, p less than title dot size and p plus plus, and every time I'm using a p. So it means first of all, once you are here, okay, p int is a point option. Okay, p1. So let me change it to p1. So p1 dot size, p1 dot plus plus, and P1. So we are just using this one. So first, it will open the app. It will get all the titles that are displaying as part of a first instance, and it will print all the titles. And once all the titles got completed, it will scroll down. Okay, it will scroll down, and then it will come. Okay, it will go to the loop and it will rotate this operation. Okay, this operation is being rotated a cyclic way. This will be rotated. So if I run my program, earlier it printed only the first title. As internally we are maintaining it in a for loop. So the for loop, the nested of all the titles, the complete set of titles instances will be retrieved and it will be printed down to the console. Okay, gets done the deal. So here, as I told you earlier, I thought of a storing. We need to store this information in a set. The reason why we need to store this information in a set means, see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it captured twice basically. Okay, it captured a 9 twice. To get rid of this stuff, what we will do means the scroll. Okay, what exactly it is scrolling? It's scrolling vertically, but you don't know basically the coordinates it's scrolling, right? Whenever it is scrolling as per the coordinates, at some point of time, the same card which is displaying at the bottom. So here the fifth card is displaying at the bottom. Maybe this card will be coming at the top where your program can recognize that card. So that's the reason the duplicate entries will be populated here as an outcome. If you can see here, the 9 entry is a duplicate entry that's being populated. To get rid of these duplicate entries, we will be storing the titles in a set so that a unique entry will be stored and you can perform that desired assertion operation. So as of now, I'm printing down to a console. You can store it in a set and later you can compare the set with the desired operations. As you have a set, you can compare with the desired values, and if that value is matching, then count it, then do that operation. Whatever the scenarios that I have explained earlier, you can perform any kind of an operation on these scenarios. Okay, got it, Venkat, Gopal, and Vamsi.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah.
Okay, And
Got it.
this scenario, you can try it on any application. There is a no restriction that we need to deal with only this app. I guess on a last Sunday, Venkat and myself have tried on a Cricket Burge app, and we were able to perform one card, and we are facing a difficulties with another card. Okay, so but we were able to achieve this one on a one card. So if at all, the thing is, this is the trickiest part. The scroll swipe is the trickiest part of that application, whichever we are dealing. The reason is you need to capture the appropriate coordinates, and then you just need to specify with the appropriate coordinates. So here, this is the swipe that we have created, right? So for this particular swipe, what I am going to do now means, let me copy this swipe program that we have created earlier, and let me paste this swipe again. Okay, this is the swipe 2. This is the second swipe that we have created. And on this swipe program, what are we doing, guys? If you observe, we are getting the starting and ending coordinates of an x-axis. So this is what the first object, right? If you scroll down your first object, once you selected here, there is a bounds of that particular object. The complete boundaries of that particular object will be displayed. So usually this is not the suggested stuff that we will be dealing with. The boundaries we will not touch at all. So but if there are certain situations where these coordinates are not working, in such situations, you will pick the boundaries of that object, and you will be defining as per that boundaries also. Okay, you will be defining as per that boundaries also, you need to define it. Okay, guys, but the boundaries we will be giving as a least preference to the boundaries. Okay, the complete boundaries stuff, whatever we are dealing with, these boundaries we will be giving a least preference, and we will validate that. But most of the times, this is the coordinates wise, we will generate a dynamic coordinates, and we will be validating or performing the operation on a desired coordinates. And we will assume that at this particular point this action will be performed, and as such we will generate the coordinates and we will give it. And it doesn't mean that always whatever the assumptions we are calculating the coordinates, it will not work. We need to go in a trial and error possibilities, and whichever the possible options are there, we just need to place all those possible options there. Okay, guys, kids,
Okay.
done the deal. So this is the thing that we have for today. We can take a pause here, and you guys can practice up to here. So we have a couple more scenarios that we need to cover on an Android. One scenario is basically how exactly we are going to switch to a web view, and how to perform an operation on a web view. That's going to be the first scenario. And the second scenario on that particular web view is sorry, on the second one is directly the web app. How exactly you can deal with a web app, how to identify the locators for a web app, all these things that we will cover as part of a next session. Okay, that we will cover as
Sure.
part of a next session.